Hello and welcome in today. Today you're joined by me, Daniel, as we delve into drawing this creature in the next stage of its evolution line. So this was a challenge given to me by Chris Young, as you would have seen in the previous video where I did create the first creature design for this evolution line. So this was a challenge from Chris Young where we took turns evolving our creature, which was really cool. It was really fun. And yeah, I did the first creature, then he did the next evolution of that creature, and then I've gone ahead and done the third evolution of this creature. And then he goes and does a fourth one. So feel free to go check that out. I will show the whole 4 stage line at the end here, and you can check it out on our Instagrams, which will be down below in the description, and also follow along on this one on the YouTube. So this was an interesting challenge. As you can see, when I started, I had a kind of drawing kind of already there. I decided to give it probably have a go at just drawing it without doing the 90-minute art challenge. And sometimes I do that. I do like a prerequisite before actually doing the 90-minute art challenge. Whether it's a drawing beforehand or a vague little sketch of the drawing beforehand or something like that. Just so for here, I didn't want to spend like half an hour, 40 minutes just trying to figure it out. I wanted to have a nice figuring out so that I don't get too kind of flustered and annoyed towards the end that I didn't get as much as I want done. So that's what I did. And even now, I actually did a boo-boo where I did more than 90 minutes. Not only did I do a few like iterations at the start or just playing around and making sure it's actually gonna work, this idea I had. I guess that's what I wanted the 90 minutes to go smoothly. I didn't want to be like halfway through and then I just decide to scrap the idea and restart kind of a thing. I wanted a good flow. I didn't want to get stuck or because that gets annoying when you get flustered, you have to start again, or something just doesn't go right with the painting and drawing within 90 minutes. It gets stressful and it's like, well, how do I change it? It can be exciting and keeps you going within that 90 minutes, but it can also work the opposite where it's frustrating and just makes you dread doing it, that 90 minutes. But it's a lot of fun. So that's why I kind of do like a prerequisite or sketch or drawing or something beforehand usually. And by this stage it's pretty much just coloring and rendering. So I could have just left it and ended up drawing, and yeah, but I'm really happy with the result in the end. But I was saying I did more than 90 minutes, not only with the sketching at the start, but also I stopped recording or stopped the timer or something for, I thought it was only for a couple of minutes or something, or something like that. So when that happens, I do have to go back and check, what time I've got recorded there on my screen, because it's 90 minutes of actually recording time. So when I hit record, I hit the timer that counts down from 90 minutes. So but I stop and start it because I've got to have breathers. I can't just keep painting for 90 minutes straight. I do have to have a breather, come back to it. I don't always physically paint for 90 minutes straight. I do have breathers and have it might be something I have to go do, or something that pops up, or or that I split it into 2 days. Sometimes I do only have time for 45 minutes of a 90-minute art challenge, and then I finish it off the next day or something like that. But yeah, you know, I think I did like 40 minutes in the afternoon or something, and then I was continuing it at night, and I thought I had like only done like 34 minutes or something, but it turns out I had like 15 more minutes recorded than I thought I had. So I got to the end of the challenge, and I was like, "Oh, this feels like way more than an hour and a half. What's going on here?" And then I put all my videos together, and I was like, "Oh no, I've done just over 15 minutes more than a 90 minutes. So you could call it a 105-minute challenge, in a way." Um, but yeah, you know, I mean, this whole 90 minutes came from the Bobby Chair. He used to do them. I don't know if he still does them, but it's just a good amount of time to do something in an hour and a half. It's kind of not too short, but it's not so long that you can't get it done, or you can't get much done, or it interrupts your day or breaks your pattern of things. You know, doing the 90-minute art challenge does help. It's usually um, if I if I go at the 90-minute art challenge, um, you know, pretty good with pretty much no breaks, maybe one or two breaks, if that. One night I can get one done and still have like an hour to do some painting or something like that on the side. But half the time, yeah, it does happen that, you know, most of the time I do just chillax and get it all done in one night. You know, take little long breathers or something. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, what else can I say about this? It's been a fun little challenge that I've done here. I really did enjoy this, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. This time it's in reverse, so my buddy Chris will be doing the first part, and I'll be doing the evolution, and then the second part, and then the evolution from there. So it's going to be lots of fun doing it that way as well. Not creating the actual character first off. And it's interesting working with others like this, being like, oh, what did they do and how did they do things? Like, interesting to see, you know, from my first stage, how he took that first stage and evolved it, you know, and compare it to what I might do in the future. It's going to be interesting to see how I kind of evolve it to stage 2. And it's vice versa as well. He's found it interesting, the idea that I had for, you know, evolving it to the next stage. What would it look like? And this was challenging too, because with evolving it, I didn't just want to make it look like, you know, maybe a bigger version of that creature, or, you know, I wanted to have, if you see Pokemon, if you see Digimon, they don't just look, you know, every evolution. Same with natural evolution. They don't just look like their prerequisites. You know, they have differences, like, you know, obviously like a larger tail, but then they have like, you know, suddenly that thing on its head is turned into part of its abdomen. You know, these little things that really add, or a longer snout, an added nose or a horn, and it works really well that way. And there's always, you know, there should be a reason for evolution. You know, that's the way I feel. Like, why do they need these bigger claws? This guy needs a bigger mushroom to kind of use to give off more poison, I guess, to defend himself a bit more. You know, these little things I think about while I'm like evolving it. Why does he needs larger claws to do these spikes on his tail, so he can smash those spikes into his enemies. you know, all these little things that you think about when you evolve it. You know, why does he need them? You gotta think about that too, and that's what really helps in evolving stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Keep creating, keep drawing, and see you in the next video.